Hey, this is Todd. I'm recording outside for a few minutes. It is a wonderful day. I admit that part of the reason I'm doing this is because I just got a new mic to replace the native mic on my little camera, and I wanted to give it a test, so I need an excuse. So I thought, well, let me go out and test. So here we are. A question came up on Twitter yesterday. It wasn't directly asked to me, but it came up in my feed. Question was, what combat encounter would you suggest for a first level, first time, I don't know if they said first time players, but I kind of took it sort of first time players, first level characters, was the first combat encounter that you would throw at them? And I responded, I cheated a little bit by suggesting an encounter of bandits asking for a toll to cross the road. And I cheated a little bit because part of the reason why I chose it, because it doesn't have to be a combat encounter. It could very well turn into a combat encounter, but it doesn't start out that way. And that's really why I liked it. And the more I thought about it, I thought, well, this is kind of interesting. I could think about the reasons why I liked it, and maybe I could throw those reasons out there. And I'd also love to hear from you guys and gals and others what you might suggest for a first encounter for new players. So here's the reasoning why I picked the bandit toll booth style encounter. First of all, maybe the main thing is that it's a trope that's fairly common in fantasy literature, media, whatever, right? Some bandits of some nature have put some kind of barrier across the road, or they sort of ambush you and then position themselves on either side and then say, hey, if you want to cross this road, you want to move to the other side, pay us whatever, gold pieces, silver pieces, copper pieces, what have you. I think a lot of people, even if they haven't played D&D before, will catch on when they start to see the set dressing for this encounter. They'll be able to catch on pretty quickly to what it is, or at least what it potentially could be. The second thing I like about it is, kind of like I said a minute ago, it doesn't have to be a combat encounter. The party can go up, they can pay their toll, they can go across that way. The party can come up, they can try to BS their way through, figure out something else, make some other kind of deal, get through that way. The party can see it maybe from a distance, go around, take some other path, and avoid the encounter that way. There's a lot of different ways they can handle that, none of which have to be rolling initiative and drawing weapons. The other thing I like about it, I guess would be number 3, is that the antagonists in this scenario have a clear motive. These are bandits, and you can have fun with what kind of bandits they are. Are they hardened criminals? Are they just poor farmers that just can't sustain themselves on their farms? There's been a drought. The local lord is overtaxing them. There's been famine. There's been disease, whatever. And so they're in this state where they feel like they have to do this. So they can have motivations. Those motivations aren't just
kill everybody.
They kill everybody. They're not going to get much tolls, and it's going to escalate to the point where someone more powerful than them is going to take note and want to clear them out. So they want to do business. But they also don't want to just let people go, because otherwise no one will pay the toll once they hear that somebody got through and, oh, they let me go and I didn't have to pay. Well, then everyone's going to take that route. So they have a motivation to somewhat stick to their guns, but they also have this motivation of, we're not here to fight to the death. We're businessmen. We want to make money. We just want to make this transaction, but we need to do it in a way to show you that we're serious, show the rest of the community that we're serious, but we don't want to harm ourselves. So there's good fodder there for either avoiding combat or cutting combat short. If these guys are getting slaughtered, they're going to run. They're going to beg for peace. They're not hardened killers just looking to kill things. And then I guess this would be number 4. This kind of encounter allows for a lot of use of terrain and tactics, depending on how the tollway has been set up. Maybe they've just put a barricade across the road and they're hanging out in plain sight. Maybe they're hiding, and then once the travelers get into a certain position, they'll come out on the other side. Probably some combination of both. You put some guys who are obvious, you hide some other folks, they come out. It really lets you explore terrain and show new players the importance of things like having cover, all these other things. And of course, if the party does decide to make a break for it and either go around or do some other thing, then you have use of terrain there, both potentially in combat if the bandits give chase for whatever reason. If they're spotted and they're close but they decide to try to run around, what happens then? You have use for terrain. Or else you can get into wilderness stuff. If you're just on the road and you think, well, I've got this ranger here, but you're on the King's Road, so it doesn't matter. But if they decide to go, what is it? Aragorn says, we'll go kind of in the countryside, we'll go in the wild, then suddenly that ranger has something to do. And I hope this wind isn't going to kill this recording, but we will see. In any event, these are kind of 4 or 5, whatever I just said, reasons why I thought a bandit encounter like that, bandits with a toll booth or a toll situation trying to extort travelers, would make a really good first encounter for first players. I think it presents a lot of elements they can interface with in different ways. You have folks that want to try to talk it out, they can try to talk it out. Subterfuge, there's plenty of room for subterfuge. There's room for trying to figure out clever solutions, and of course there can be just combat. If that's what they want to do, is fight it out, just fight it out. And from the DM's perspective, you've got the background of these bandits that you can flesh out in whatever way. If you want to make it a more complex situation where they are poor farmers or ex-serfs or something of that nature, and make it a more complex issue that could potentially lead to adventuring hooks down the line. Why are these guys so hard put that they need to resort to banditry? Maybe the party can help with that thing. Maybe they put this barrier down knowing that adventurers were coming because they need adventurers that might be worth more to them than money. It just gives, I think, a lot of room for people to do a lot of different things. So let me know, what do you think as a teaching encounter of a sort that you would give to first level characters, first time players? I'm sure if I think about it enough, I'll come up with other ones, but my one for now that I'll settle with and I'll throw out there is the bandits running a toll scheme. And I outlined some reasons why I think it makes for a good first encounter, but let me know what you think. And hopefully the wind that I got didn't kill this, but otherwise, game on. I'll talk to you later.